Hello and welcome to this session. This is Professor Farhat, in which we would look at the federal tax law hierarchy. Now, in prior session, we looked at the administrative authorities, we looked at the judicial authority, and we looked at the legislative authority. In this session, we are going to put all these authorities on a hierarchy level, basically summarizing everything that we learned up to this point, but from a hierarchical perspective. So the terms I will be using here, I will not be defining. For example, I will not be defining what's a private letter ruling in depth, or a technical advice memorandum, or a revenue ruling, or a revenue procedures. The assumption is you have viewed the prior sessions where I explained the various authority. In this session, we will look at them from a hierarchy perspective. It will be good to see the big picture. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com.
You are here because you are serious about mastering taxation. Whether you are taking a tax course, studying for the CPA exam, or enrolled agent, tax feels overwhelming, not because it's impossible, but because it's dense, detailed, and often taught at a pace that doesn't match the way you learn. The rules can feel disconnected, and the logic isn't always explained clearly. At Farhat Lectures, we slow it down. We explain the why behind the rules, break concept into simple steps, and rebuild your understanding from the ground up without assuming any prior knowledge. When explanation matches your learning, everything changes. The confusion fades, the rules start to connect, and tax becomes manageable. If you are ready to understand tax with clarity and confidence, start your free trial at farhatlectures.com and let's build your tax foundation together.
First, in theory, the U.S. Constitution has the highest authority. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and it sits at the top of the federal tax authority hierarchy because it gives the Congress the power to do what? To impose and collect taxes, and any tax law or regulation that conflict with the Constitution is invalid. Having said so, constitutional issues rarely arise in routine tax issues. So it is in theory on the top, but in a sense it's not relevant for tax research. For example, if you're doing tax research, you will not go to the US Constitution to answer a question. So now we're going to look at the top, the second highest, or I would say it's technically the highest if the US Constitution does not count, which is we're looking here at two categories, the Internal Revenue Code and the US Supreme Court. Let's look at them. So below the Constitution are the federal tax statutes, primarily the Internal Revenue Code, and think of this as, Congress, US Congress. US Congress write the code. It's the primary source of the federal tax law. Although the Supreme Court can hear tax cases, in theory can, but in practice they hear rarely any tax cases for that matter. But if they make a decision, if the Supreme Court make a decision, it could override the law, then obviously what would happen, the Congress will change the law. The point is you have the Internal Revenue Code, let's say US Congress law, and the US Supreme Court are on the top. Okay, now remember, on top of them sits the US Constitution. Good. Then we're going to go to the third tier, which is the US Courts of Appeals and the Treasury regulation. So the next tier consists of decision of the US Court of Appeals. Now, why do we say courts and appeals? Because the appeals decision comes after the court. So if a lower court or a trial level federal court makes a decision like the US tax court or the US district court, then if that decision is appealed, the appeal is higher. Therefore, it comes above the trial level courts. So the US Courts of Appeals. So be careful. The wording is just very similar, but it means something specific. So the Court of Appeal, it interprets the code and other federal tax laws within the respective circuits. The Treasury regulation, which is, U.S. Court of Appeals and Treasury regulation. If we remember from the administrative guidance, the Treasury regulation has the highest form of administrative guidance, and it provides the official interpretation of the Internal Revenue Code. Now, if something will bypass the U.S. Court of Appeals, it goes to the Supreme Court. Again, this is rarely anything goes up to the Supreme Court, but think of the U.S. Treasury regulation as the official interpretation, and not only the official, the most authoritative interpretation of the Internal Revenue Code. Now, so what comes below the U.S. Court of Appeals and the Treasury regulation? Well, if we're talking about U.S. Court of Appeals, what comes right below them are the trial courts, because you went to court, you did not like the decision, you appealed it. Now we are looking at the court itself. So it could be, you can file your claim in a U.S. tax court, and we explained the difference between those three. You could file it in the U.S. tax court, U.S. district court, or the U.S. Court of Federal Claims. Again, if you're not happy with the result, you can take it to the next level. So the decisions from these courts are binding only within their jurisdiction, and sometimes only within that court, and they're not subject, they could be subject to the appeal, and that's why the appeal is a higher decision. Okay, they are considered less authoritative if the decision is appealed, and is less authoritative than the Treasury regulation, but they could be persuasive precedent, because you could use those cases as precedent. Now, below the courts comes the IRS administrative guidance. Remember, as a taxpayer or as the government, you want to stay within the IRS administrative guidance. You don't want to move any further, because you don't want to go into the court system. So you have the IRS administrative pronouncement, like the revenue rulings, the revenue procedures. Hopefully you can solve your issues there rather than going any further. So remember, revenue procedures provide guidance on administrative or procedural issue. Remember, I compared it to red tape, how to conduct business with the IRS, and the revenue ruling tells you whether something is taxable, when, and the IRS will give examples using to illustrate the revenue rulings. Then the lowest authority level is, you guessed it, the taxpayer-specific and informal guidance, and this will include material, IRS material, private letter rulings, technical advice memorandum stamp, informal publications such as IRS publication, FAQs on the IRS website, the form instructions, and remember, the PLRs and the TAMs, those are very specific. Remember, the PLRs is somebody requested that letter, and the TAM arises during an audit, during an examination, and they need more guidance. That's why they issue a TAM. They're specific. Now, publication and similar material are helpful for understanding, but do not have the force of law and cannot override higher authorities. So you have to keep that in mind. As I told you, what you're doing when you're listening to my lectures, you're basically looking at the IRS publication from the IRS website. So I hope this is a good review, good wrap-up picture of what we learned earlier about the legislative, judicial. Think of the legislative as at this level, the Internal Revenue Code, the Congress. Administrative, we're looking at the federal regulation, administrative, and the judicial is all the courts. So if this is one, not in order, but legislative is the Internal Revenue Code, L. The courts are the judicial. Anything with court is judicial, and Treasury is admin. This is admin, and this is obviously admin as well, IRS regulation. What should you do now? Whether you are a CPA exam candidate, an accounting EA student, you want to go to Farhat lectures and look at additional resources. So this is a summary of everything that we did prior to this session, but on a hierarchy. If this makes sense to you, it means you did learn what you were supposed to learn earlier. Always invest in yourself. Farhat Lectures is there for you. Good luck, study hard, and God bless.